Really challenging market to trade. We're in drawdowns right now. I will have some updates I'm working on. But when you trade, you don't anticipate. When you develop strategies and you look at markets and you trade patterns in markets, markets don't always do the same thing. They don't always just go up and then bounce every time it goes down. The market doesn't always bounce every time it's down. We're going through a period right now where the market bounces every time it's down, and so it bounces up, and if it bounces high enough, we can catch the reversal trade. But it's not bouncing high enough, and it's not selling off deep enough, and it's just pretty wild swings right here. This is one of the hardest patterns to trade. It may not look like much price action, and if you're a long-term investor, it just looks like a market that's hanging out at highs, but it's really volatile and violent up here. It's very challenging to trade today. Down 5,500 in the 200K and down about $800 in the 50K. So minus 5,500 in the 200K and minus about 800 in the 50K. So working on some updates for this type of market environment, and you just see how this market just constantly makes V reversals on everything it does, and over time when you test markets, it doesn't do that. It doesn't make these type of V reversals typically this frequently for this long. You typically eventually get a move, a nice trend out of the trade, but this is just an endless amount of chop. Q4 of 2020 was very choppy. We've made adjustments for that time period, and now I would argue it's been even choppier since the end of July until the beginning of September. It's been even choppier. So challenging market environment. We see the advanced decline line is down 3 days in a row. Pretty steep sell-off yesterday. I thought the market would follow through. It did, but then it just came right back. We talked about how advanced decline line is down, and market was propped up and down here, and it rolled over at the end of the day, and this market should follow through to the downside, and it did. Then something came in and propped it up. We know what that is, and something came in here and propped it up, and so those are the market internals. VIX spiked higher and rolled over, and let's look at all the trades on the day. We have Gap Fill Master plus 175 on the day, caught the mean reversion trade early. Night Trader was stopped out after being in this trade since August 31st. You see how it sold off at night, came all the way back, and then the spike down and the spike ups. So, and then you have adaptive moving average. The short trade was the right trade today, but since it came back, this market comes back, it's difficult to make money. You see, yesterday it was short most of the day, but the market keeps coming back. There's always a rescue mission to save this market off its lows every day, and more so than I've ever seen it before. Asia 4 long minus 612.50, and AT, well, that's yesterday's trade. So those are the ES1 trades. ES2 tick fader did capture this move. Gap continuation in reverse did capture this move, plus 512.50. But if you see, this strategy is designed to actually capture these moves because it's one of the hardest patterns, and it hasn't always captured these moves in the last month or so. Some of these moves it has not caught, but it did today. So plus 512.50. VSD long only minus 362.50. VSD Night Trader minus 550 also lost today. Tick Wave, here's another one that had the short trade correct but still lost on the day, minus 200. And just the bounce back effect. You get short right in the first. You get short in the first 5 minutes of this trade. Right at the open after 5 minutes, hard bounce, rolls over, bounces right back, closes at a price higher than after the first 5 minutes of trading. So the actual close at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern was higher than the price after the first 5 minutes of trade. So it worked its way higher all day after a hard sell-off. And NQ, AT2020 NQ minus 725 on the day. QS3 minus 725 on the day. Took the long trade. And gap continuation 2020. Now this one bounced right at 11 Central, 12 noon. We sold it, and boom, a fast bounce, and made that low. It the ES made its low at right around 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and then the NASDAQ made another low here around 11 a.m. Central, 12 Eastern, and those are the time. That's the time of day. That's what we're seeing now. It's not a pattern that typically works long term, but what we're seeing ever since the Fed started printing more money during the pandemic, this propping up price action in the afternoon, that continues to happen. That you want to justify trading it, but the back tests are very short-lived and only do well over the past year and a half. So stock index swing, last 3 trades are winners, plus 475 today. And NQ2, 60-minute breakout NQB, minus 1510. PR breakout, minus 50. Tick wave, minus 280. VSD, long only, minus 1380. Minus 3680 for VSD long short. EVP1, minus 215. Plus 285 for gap continuation 2019 big stop loss. Viper 2008 minus 1250. Once again, no trades in the energies. Natural gas spiked higher, up 7%, and no trades of crude. Crude didn't move. RBOB, no trades. Gold flash plus 675. Then gold's the same way, very spiky price action. Lost on Asia Gold 4 short. See the market rally against us. Once we get stopped out, then it finally goes down. Then it spikes up again, then it spikes up again. Then it rolls over and spikes up again. So very spiky price action, minus 525. You see it again here. And just a hard market to trade. Flash move down, spike up, spike down, spike up. Cobra Gold, minus 625. EVP2 Gold, minus 525. And we have silver, no trades. Copper, no trades. Euro currency, right around break even. Soybeans, minus 425 on soybean swing. Break even stop on grains day trader 3 after a big winner yesterday. So thought grains would give us some profits today, but took one from the playbook of equities going along. The dip buyers stepped in on soybeans and drove the prices back up. Optional and old strategies. Looking at some adjustments, we're at worst case drawdowns on some of these. This is a very challenging market to trade. One of the things you can do is you can step back and you can trade Cobra 3 NQ or gap continuation 2020 NQ. Those give you some low risk trades with $600 and $300 stop losses, and you can minimize the number of trades on the day. And these can have a series of losers, but they can also capture a big winner. So if you want to step back and do that, you can. I'm going to make some adjustments on these, working on some adjustments. I have to update my portfolio calculator for today to see where we are in all the portfolios and what the best approach is for this kind of market. It's pretty hard to trade. We deal with markets like this, and there are times when the markets are untradeable. Gold seems pretty untradeable to me when it trades like this. Maybe you have a strategy for it, but I find this to be a very challenging market in equities and gold. And so there are times when the markets are untradeable, but typically we see this on a regular basis, but we don't see it every single day for a long period of time. And right now we're seeing this every single day for a long period of time since the end of July. So going over we'll update the portfolio calculator as fast as I can and hopefully get out some potential updates. I think that when the market is this volatile and this crazy, it signals a turning point. And so that turning point could be a massive move higher or lower. We want to be able to capture those moves with our strategy. So we'll be making some adjustments to potentially take advantage of what I anticipate happening in the next month or two.